Hey friends, how y'all doing? Made it to Phoenix. Thanks for all the well wishes and good luck to everybody. But I got a chance to talk to a couple of people on my way here, and I got really excited about some of the conversations we were having. One of the questions that I had is, what do you do when you retire, right? Every one of us has a lifestyle. We get used to being able to go to the movies. Went back when we used to go. We get used to being able to go out to eat whatever we want, buy whatever we want. If we're working, we're doing what we can. But what happens when you're not working? You know, and if you didn't prepare for that eventual day when you're not working, then your lifestyle could suffer. And not a lot of us think about that because when you're young, you're invincible. And I've had that time when I was just you couldn't stop me. Military guy, fired up, motivated. Flying airplanes. I was so excited. I'm the man. But then I started hitting 30s and 40s, and now I'm about to bust a 50. And now retirement is real. And it's a good thing because you can see your life, coming to full circle, and you get to do some things, but still gotta get yourself prepared for it. So again, what do you do when you retire? So I started looking at a couple of things. So let's take a look at this real quick. So a lot of us, we have a particular lifestyle that we enjoy, and we like to be entertained, right? So we spend a couple $100 on entertainment. Unfortunately, a lot of us spend that money on our entertainment, our birthday parties, a concert or whatever before they actually pay the rent. And if you do have the money for your rent, you might be paying $1,800, $2,000, $2,500. You got yourself a car, $350. Your insurance, a couple $100. Your cell phone somewhere around $50. Gas is $25. Lights are probably about $50. And then of course, if you're a big eater like I am, or you're feeding a family, a few $100s for that. And then interestingly enough, we burn up a lot of cash that we don't even know where it's going, and that cash is usually like shoes or coffee or anything like that, some comfort stuff that we use every day, that where that little bit of money is adding up at the end of the month. And, you won't believe, but you're actually putting away, quite a big chunk of that, right? So, you're looking at about $3,675 a month, maybe, on average, right? Depending, I mean, that's how it was for me, right? But, and your income, you might have a pretty decent income, right? $5,000, right? Take home payment every month. That's not too bad. Your surplus is around $1,325. So if you got a surplus, what happens to the surplus, right? Not a lot of us think about what we're going to be doing with the surplus. We should put that money someplace that's going to help benefit us later, but not a lot of us think about that because not a lot of us are taught about that, right? So what happens with the surplus is you end up getting a whole lot of extra relatives who love you because that surplus ends up going into their wallets or their purses or their mattresses or taking care of their responsibilities, right? You're a good person, you want to help people out, but the bottom line is you should be helping yourself out too, right? And the reason why that is because what happens after you go to work. So let's take a look at that one more time. So, right now, because you have a job, you can afford that $3,600, right? It's no problem. You can take care of that. Matter of fact, you might be able to absorb a couple of more bills. But this is what happens. A lot of us, we don't really have a surplus of $1,300. We might just be making it. You know what I'm saying? It might be, just a little bit of money, but here's the funny part about it. We'll look at this and we'll go, man, I only have a $25 surplus. But we don't think about how much money we're spending on entertainment. We don't think about how much money we're spending on, just, frivolous stuff, right? Between the entertainment and the miscellaneous, that's $700, right? And you don't even realize you're doing it because it's just a slow beat, a slow bleed, right? It's that $5 here, that $10 there, that $15, but it's happening every day. So if you imagine if it's $5 that you're distributing to 5 different locations every day, right? That's $25 that you're distributing. It's only $5 here, 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 and here, but it's $25 in total that you're putting it out every day. And say you're only doing that, what, 20 days a week, all the weekdays, that's still $500. And that's exactly what we do. That $500 is the Starbucks. I'm scratch that. That $500 is the Starbucks. That $500 is a pair of shoes. That $500 is sliding a couple of dollars here and there. But at the end of the day, that $500, you don't even remember what it is until it's time for you to need that $500, right? So here's something interesting. If your lifestyle requires you to need $3,675 every month, when you get ready to retire, and your plan is to retire and depend on Social Security, and Social Security at best is going to give you what, $2,900 a month. So now you're looking at a deficit of what, $775. Where's that money going to come from? I don't know either, because it's definitely not going to come from Social Security, because they're not going to pay. They're not going to pay you one to one. They're going to pay you 77 cents to the dollar, right? So you're going to have some supplemental retirement funding. Now you can have your 401ks, your 403bs, your TSP, some kind of retirement fund that's going to be able to help you out. But a lot of us, when we get these jobs, we might have started these jobs a little bit later, and we might not have that amount of money in the account. And unfortunately, because of the recent pandemic, a lot of people have been taking as much as $100,000 out of the retirement accounts, and that's after those retirement accounts have taken such a big hit. If you're like me, back in 2001, I used to be a day trader, great. Didn't know how to protect my money, lost a lot of it. 50% of my portfolio was gone. 2008, we had the housing market crisis. 50% of my portfolio was gone. And keep in mind, every time I took those hits, I'm getting older. So my marketability is diminishing while I'm still taking all these hits, while I'm still taking these risks, I'm taking all these hits, but I don't have the money to be able to replace all the losses that I've taken. So once I get too old and I'm no longer marketable to companies as an employee, then I'm going to have to come up with another way to make some serious cash. And that's what I want to talk to you about, because here's the deal. If you have, $500 a month that you don't know where it's going, and trust me, a lot of us really are struggling, but we're struggling because we're broke in the mind. We're not broke in the wallet, right? If you still have that $5 to go here, there, and everywhere, totaling 500 or more every month, then if you really started thinking about where your money was coming from, you'll start understanding the importance and the value of creating a financial funding for yourself, so you don't end up having to, continue to work through your retirement years. So one of the things I'd like to be able to show you is let's take a look at this financial calculator here. And I really love using this tool because it helps me to really figure out, what's happening with my money. So let's just say of that $500, you became woke and you're like, you know what, instead of spending this $500 frivolously, I'm just going to go ahead and throw back $200 for my retirement. So let me go ahead and put that $200 there, right? And you've been working for a while, so say you do this for about 35 years, right? Even if you put it into a regular savings account at 2%, look at that, right? So 2%, you still got $121,000. Now, granted, $121,000 is not going to get you into the Waldorf Astoria every day for the rest of your life, but that's going to be added to the money that you already have. That's a big deal, right? That's your Social Security, your 401k, or whatever. This is additional money that's going to help augment your retirement, right? Now, what I will tell you is, the best savings account might get you a 2.5 or 2%, but if it's going up against inflation, it's probably not the best option for you. You understand inflation is anywhere from 3.2 to 4%. So your money is actually losing power every year. So if you're looking to have that money liquid for use for any rainy day or something like that, you want to have anywhere from 3 to 6 months cash stored away. So if something happens and you want that money quickly and easily available, so you'd be able to absorb some of those challenges you might have during an emergency situation. But if you're looking at some long-term money for your retirement, you got to put your money into some better products, right? Some higher yielding products, so you can get a higher compound interest that's going to outpace inflation. So, a couple of things that are out there that you can use, that you might have heard about and you might not have heard about, is cash value life insurance. I actually have a couple of policies right now that are averaging anywhere from 6% up as high as 8%. Right now, I think my annual yield has been 7.3%. So let's look at 7.3%, and say that you were doing exactly that same $200 for 35 years with an annual yield of 7.3%. Let's take a look at how that looks. $389,000. Now, again, you're looking at yourself retiring 55, 65, 75 years. You have your 401ks or your Roth IRAs or your IRAs or your TSPs or whatever type of retirement funding. You have your Social Security, even though it's only going to pay 77 cents on the dollar, you still have that. But you also have something like this going to help supplement your income. Again, you have a lifestyle right now that you're used to living, but when you're no longer working, you still want to be able to maintain that lifestyle. So being able to put your money in a situation to where it can protect you, right? Because I'm telling you, hear the words I'm saying, because you're not alone. How many times have you had people ask to, oh my God, the worst words I've ever heard. Let me hold something. You've heard them say that, right? Let me hold something. Man, get a job, right? People who need your help are often not the people that are going to be there to help you when you need help. And it's not that they're bad people. It's not that they don't want to help. It's just that they didn't put themselves in a position to be able to be helpful when they need help themselves. So because you are aware of the importance of, you know, protecting your income and making sure you try to establish, especially if you have a 401k or any type of retirement fund, you at least know enough to know that you're going to need it. Um, it's time to maybe learn a little bit more, just like I had to realize that there are other products out there that's going to help protect you for your retirement, because the goal is not losing your current lifestyle. You might really enjoy, traveling and going to Barbados and going to these different locations. You might really enjoy eating meat on your plate. You might really enjoy keeping a roof over your head and clothes on your back. And you can enjoy these things while you're working, whether you have a business or whether you have a job. But when the business is gone and when the job is gone, you don't want your money gone. So you want to make sure you put your money into some products that's going to help you be able to sustain your lifestyle well into your retirement. And that's a conversation that you're hoping you're having with your spouses and your kids around the dinner table. So let's continue this discussion. If you have any questions, definitely reach out to me. And I look forward to talking to you soon. Thanks. Bye.